Might just change that angle slightly.
It is on, so it's broadcasting.
I know.
Let's see where.
Let's see where it comes up. That looks like I'm live. I can see, well, that's okay, it's a view. Fab. Thank you, Mr. G.
That's all right. Hopefully you'll see Caroline's appeared there.
Hi, Caroline. We're just trying out a new setup, so I've got Mr. G on technical support. Hiya, Steph. Quite shadowy, Steve. Is that me? Am I the shadow?
It might be the light.
What, if you turn that off, what does it do? Ooh. That might. What do you think, guys, in terms of lighting? Oh,
What's that right there?
That ring is. It's just a time delay. It's just a time delay. That will go off when you've turned it off. Looks okay, does it, Caroline? Hi, Amanda. Cool. Well, I think I've turned this circle lamp off because it's given us a bit of glare on the mat. My Stamps by Me mat, as you can see. So I think if you can see okay, then I'll keep. I don't know why I can still see that ring. Oh, no, it is. God, that is a real lag on it then, isn't there? Ah, there we go. That light's gone now.
So yeah, ignore
the feed because it's very laggy. Yeah. Okay. Right. Hi, Laura. Hi, Ciel. Hi, Sue. Oh, thank you everyone for joining me this evening. Oh, you got your calendar today, Steph, did you? Oh, fab. I've got it on the counter here just to show people because it was on Create and Craft last week when I did a live. But as always with TV, you just don't get much time to show and tell, really, do you? So particularly my last show, because I don't know if any of you watched it, but they had a power cut at the beginning of it. So I think I lost the first 15 minutes of airtime, and we were wheeling counters between the studios, just trying to get a feed up and running. So it all felt a bit breathless the last show, and I felt I wanted to come on here and have a kind of take you through the release in a bit more of a leisurely pace. So hi Karen, good to see you. Mr. G's back in with some pizza, but he's not offering me any. Right. So what I want to do this evening is just give you a little bit of an intro walk through the October release that went live on Friday. And it's already been really popular, and I'm sure lots of you have seen it already on Facebook, on Instagram, and all the amazing design team samples. So I'm not gonna go on about the actual products at great length, because I thought it'd be nice to have a bit of a play with the ballroom stamp set, because it was a stamp set that wasn't on the counter at Create and Craft, so I haven't done any demos with it. I thought you might enjoy seeing me have a bit of a play with that. But any questions that you have, or any kind of comments or feedback, particularly on the products, is always much appreciated. And what I will do as part of this live, and this is my first ever YouTube live, is I will give the whole release away to one person who comments and likes the video. And if you could share it as well, that would be amazing. I will let this run until Friday. So obviously I know not everyone can get to watch it live. So I'll be putting on Facebook, and if you can share and let people know that if they watch and comment on this video, then they'll be in with a chance of winning the whole release. And I also thought I'd give away 2 calendars as well, so that in terms of actually, I was really bad only being able to give things to one person, so I'd like to give 2 calendars away as well to 2 other people who kind of like, share, and do all the things that we know that YouTube particularly likes us to do. So so there's a full release, and there'll be 2 calendars, and I'll kind of announce who's won those on Friday. And yeah, I hope. And if, of course, if you've already bought things from the release, then yeah, we'll sort something out in terms of credit or yeah, vouchers or something for future products, or a refund if you'd rather have it done that way. So thank you, Karen. Oh, and thanks, Caroline. Appreciate that. Well, I'm very grateful for all of you and your time and support. So it's the least I can do is to have a little giveaway. So let me start by running through the products. I say some of you will have seen probably most of this, if not all of it already. So I won't be long. And I thought, first of all, I'd start with Cat Capers, which is Donna's stamp set. Donna Gray, one of our regular Funky Fossil designers. I know lots of you love what she does, and she's particularly fond of cats. So there is there is a recurring theme in some of Donna's designs. She does animals brilliantly. They're always really full of character and personality, and always really really kind of whimsical, but she's particularly keen on her cats. So for this release, not only she got this wonderful A5 stamp set, but also when we were talking about it, she wanted to do some washi tape that also expanded on that cat related theme. And there are 4 washi tapes in the set. There's one with just these gorgeous cat heads with their hearts. There are the fish skeletons, there's a rainbow of paw prints, and then there's a washi tape with lots of sentiments on, or cat related sentiments. So I kept the sentiments on the stamp set to a minimum on this occasion, because I knew we had lots of sentiments in the washi tape. So that gives you a lot of versatility. So there are 4 of these washi tapes, different widths. And yeah, Donna hasn't done any washi tapes before, so I know she's super excited about these, and they are very cool. And I know the design team have used them, used the washies a lot in their samples. And the other little bit of this kind of collection that Donna put together for this release was this A7 fish stamp, which of course gives us wonderful backgrounds for the cats, particularly the one holding a fish, because you know exactly what he's thinking. And this A7 stamp is a really cute addition to any little scenes you want to put together. So they're Donna's set. That's Donna's set. Hi Sarah, hi Shaz, thank you for joining us. So that was Donna's set from the collection, and then let's have a look at the Zinsky art stamp set for this collection. So Eleanor, many of you will know already, designs lots of products for us at Funky Fossil. Again, a designer with a fantastic sense of humour and a really quirky style. And I've had these designs for a little while, but wanted to hold on to them just for now, just until we got to Strictly season, because I thought that would particularly work well. And you have been loving these. They are 3 dancing couples. I'm not a ballroom dancer, so I don't necessarily know all the ins and outs, but they are 3 very energetic looking ballroom couples with lots of fantastic sentiments, and again in Eleanor's very lively and fun style. Hi Joe, you're not late at all. No, Isabel, lovely to see you. Thank you for tuning in. So this is A5 stamp set, is great, and this is the one I'm going to demo because I haven't done any demoing with that yet. And when I put the stamp set that Eleanor sent me together, then I wanted 2 kind of stencils that went with that kind of musical and ballroom theme. So we've got one called Starstruck. I'm not sure how clearly you can see with the lighting. I'm going to have to work on my setup in here, aren't I? But hopefully you can see it. So we've got a stencil called Starstruck, which I'll be using later. So you'll see how that works brilliantly with our dancing couples. And a musical heart, which is self-explanatory, I'm sure. And again, fantastic, not just for the ballroom dancers. It's a great one for your stash generally, but a lovely flow to that music, those musical notes. So that's a lovely set, a lovely stencil to use. I like that one. And I'm zipping on through to the collection that our new designer, Claire Stead, has put together. Now, Claire is a fantastically talented mixed media artist. If you don't already follow her YouTube channel, which is called Art Journal Love, I really recommend it. She does brilliant layouts, which certainly have got me kind of feeling much more confident with my own art journaling. And she's brought out her first ever stamps and stencils, and they have been really, really popular, and absolutely can see why. This is the A5 stamp set, so brilliant mark making. Obviously, Claire puts dots on most of her layouts, so we had to have a dotty one, but other kind of marks and lovely sentiments, great for journaling, and in a really kind of strong font, so you won't lose them against your busy backgrounds. And talking about strong font, one of the A6 stamps that Claire's bought us is this one called Alpha Jumble. And again, all with her handwriting. And yeah, she's got a lovely clear line to her letters. So this is a very versatile background that I can imagine, I can see you using it. Yeah, Laura, absolutely. I was just going to say you've been using these stamps loads, haven't you? And you've really enjoyed working with them. The other A6 stamp that Claire has put together for us is called Marker Lines, and it is exactly that. Again, I've been amazed at how I've seen this used. I think Judith used it, kind of stamped it one way and then the other, and has created almost like a plaid with it. And I know Claire uses it actually to do her journaling on in white pen against the black. So again, this is one of those stamps that I think you look at and you think, I'm not sure how I'd use it, and then you realise how often it's getting inked up. Yeah, I love the Alpha Sarah as well. Oh, thank you, Louise. I'm glad you like them. Oh, thanks, Isabel. I'm glad you like these ones. I think they're really distinctive, and she's got an amazing style. So, and she's super lovely. And in fact, talking about style, this is one of the stencils that Claire's put together for us, which is Face It. And I just adored this stencil because, as you can see, or hopefully you can see, it's a kind of half a face, as in there's no hair, and it just gives you so many options in terms of what you do around and with this image. And of course, it gives you a fantastic face that you can kind of customize, and you've just got the line art. And faces are so challenging, aren't they? So this is a really classic stencil that I've got a journal page that I've made with this, and I absolutely love it. Still with Claire and her release, we've got dots and dashes. So this stencil almost has two patterns in one, which again makes it really useful to use. So again, you don't need to use all of it, but you can just use segments, certainly when you're creating your kind of backgrounds. And her final part of this, of her release for this month, is scribble lines, which it almost kind of looks like torn paper edges. So really good. I can see a spotlight really glaring on things. I hope you can see what I'm showing you. Yeah, exactly, Steph. Floral hair. In fact, I'm doing a demo. I'm going to be on junk journals and mixed media art on Friday at 4 doing a live, and I thought I'd play with Claire's designs as part of that live. And I'm thinking lots of things in terms of things coming out of the head. I'm thinking butterflies, florals. Yeah, so I'll see what I can come up with. But if you're around at 4 on Friday, I'll be playing with these. And then the final images that I've got to share with you is our Autumn Gnomes by Charlotte Blackwood. This is her 4th set of gnome stamps, and she's gone through all the seasons. So at this time last year, we released the Christmas ones. We've had spring, summer, and here we are with the autumn set. And she always gives her gnomes fantastic kind of scenes to set them in. So we've got one with wheelbarrow full of pumpkins. We've got one which I know Sam Reed from our design team will love because she loves her mushrooms. We've got one gathering mushrooms stood on sat on a toadstool, one sheltering from the rain, and obviously one getting blown away with the leaves. So they're really, really cute. And I have loved this entire series. I know they've been very popular. And the designs, or the kind of the elements I've put together to go with the gnomes particularly in mind, to go for any autumn card making you want to do. Oh, hi Roxy Lee, lovely of you to join. Thank you for liking and sharing too. That's really kind. So we've got, and say I'm not entirely, because there's huge lag on this, I'm not entirely sure what you can see from the glare of the light above me, but I'm just going to soldier on and try and fix this for next time. So I've got an oak leaf wreath stencil, which is a lovely one. I think I've shared a sample I made with that on the Facebook group. And we've also got this kind of layered stencil, very simple layers. In fact, let me just see if I've got my inky one to hand. I might ink it up if we've got time tonight, but probably won't. But there are 2 layers to it. I'm getting a bit of black card now. So the first layer, or whichever way around you want to do it, is the main body of the leaves, and then you can go back in and add it's got leaves and acorns on it, and then you can add the stems and the kind of the little cups for the acorns in a different colour. So very, very simple layering. I mean, I'm not, I'm not kind of breaking any new ground here in the world of crafting, but it is super effective, and I really love this, the way this the effect it gives you with just being able to even have the acorn cups in a different colour to the main one. You think to the right, Amanda? So do you mean to my right or to your right? I'll move a bit across, and then let's see if we get a better visual. I'm in my new office, and which has taken about a year to sort out as an extension on the house. We've got spotlights, which are great for light, but I definitely need to work on the kind of the visuals for the film. Final 2 things to share with you are the paper pad, and those of you that have been watching my shows on the How to Craft Network, actually, am I even on camera now? I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm on camera. On the How to Craft Network will have seen me playing with this paper pad, which is just lusciousness, full of really rich autumnal colours, rich ochres, rusts and reds. Some quite small patterns in there, which are great for paper piecing because they don't kind of drown out the image that you're working with. And yeah, this has been a real firm favourite in terms of paper pads that we brought out at Funky Fossil. And certainly with the autumn gnomes and this kind of time of year, it's a really cool addition to the release. And then finally, last but not least, we've got our calendar. I think that does look better, doesn't it, Amanda? Oh, thank you. It is better. Good. I'm staying over towards the right. So this calendar, I wanted to bring something out. It's an A5 desk calendar. It comes flat, as you can see. Really easy just to fold it in the middle to get you kind of sitting on your desk. And the intention behind this really was to give you something to decorate, either as a gift for somebody else or just to decorate over the course of the year. So as you'll see with each A5 page, there's effectively almost like an A6 size topper that is blank, space for you to craft into. And in each month I've put a little quote in as well, just something to hopefully kind of add a bit of positivity. And what I have done as well with the calendar, let me show you one that I've decorated, is for each month I have switched around where the blank space is. So if, like I've done with my gnome one, you make your topper and then add it in, or you use photographs or something to decorate it as a gift for somebody, then the bulk won't be too much because it's not all going to be sitting on one side of the calendar, if that makes sense. So even though this one's been kind of fully decorated with things stuck into it, you can see it doesn't end up being kind of imbalanced or overly bulky. So I consciously thought about kind of swapping over where the blank space is to decorate, if that makes sense. Oh, hi Mary, hi Nola, hi Paper and Twine, lovely to see you. Thank you for joining me. So yeah, so this is, I absolutely love it. It's 250 GSM cardstock or paper, so it's really good quality. And I know Judith has started decorating hers, and she's decorating directly onto it. So she's found that it's taken stamps and inks really well. So you don't need to pre-decorate and add in if you don't want to. Because I wasn't sure, this has got a slight sheen to it, so I didn't know how stamping friendly it would be. But Judith's done some layouts, and it's worked really well. So she assures me she's even used heat embossed on it as well. So so she's found it working fine. So yeah, as you can see, I've done one with lots of gnomes in. So I've used images from throughout the year, because when I was on Create and Craft, one of the offers that we had on was to buy all of the 4 gnome stamp sets. I thought the calendar was the perfect backdrop for them because it just takes you throughout the whole year. This is one of the sunflowers. So I'm just flicking through at speed. I love this sentiment in July, which is, if you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams and you will always look lovely. Oh, nice. That just made me smile. So that's July. Got the No Meeting and Ice Cream from the summer set in August. And then the last couple, obviously from our most recent stamp set, this release with the leaves. So you can see there the layered leaves in the background, our little gnome on his toadstool, and some of the papers as well. And here he is with his pumpkins, and again papers in the background. So and then we're on to Christmas. So I think this is I mean, for £10, I think effectively what it is, and I send it out to you with a whiteboard envelope, just in case you do want to send it on to somebody as a gift. It will arrive really nicely for them. And I've also put some stickers in as well for decorating it. So I just wanted to kind of talk you through the calendar and my thought process a little bit, but it's certainly something I gift to my mum every year, is a decorated calendar. So I wanted to kind of bring out one that you could decorate, but also had a bit of craftiness to it too. So that is the release. That is everything. It's a bit of a smaller release than sometimes some months that we do, but I am conscious it's time of year, and I don't kind of want to overwhelm everybody with loads of products every month. So for those of you that have joined us a little bit kind of later on as I've been chattering through, I'm saying that I'm going to give away one set of the whole release that I've just been sharing with you, and 2 calendars. So for everyone who kind of likes and shares and comments on this video, between now and Friday, we'll be with a chance of winning the whole release, or let's say one of the calendars. So for those of you that didn't catch me saying that at the beginning, certainly do hopefully like and share the video, and watch out for Friday when I say who's going to get the whole lot. So I'm glad that you have been liking the release, and I know that lots of it has been really popular because I've been busy packing orders today. So I know there's lots going. Well, I will say there's lots going out the door. We've got a postal strike tomorrow, haven't we? So So it will be a bit later getting to people than I would like, but thank you for everyone who's already been placing orders. So what I wanted to do is do a demo with, or two demos if I've got time, with the Fab Ballroom stamp set. So I haven't got many finished samples here in the office with me because I left them in my box for Create and Craft, and also the design team haven't sent me their ballroom samples yet because they weren't ones that were going on telly. So the only one I've got to share with you already that I've got ready made is by our Judith, and she sent me this fabulous tag. And you can see in the background here that she's used the stamps from Claire, from the Art Journal Love stamps, and her fabulous couple are looking very very swishing purple. I want to use some of the stencils with the stamps just to show again why I put these things together. And what I thought I'd do, so I thought I'd start with Starstruck. So I'm just saying to everyone, are you liking my new mat? Very posh, isn't it? I'm at the moment, I'm being very conscientious in keeping it clean. I'm not sure how long that will last. And I've got my little mini mat next to me as well for if I get particularly inky. And I've got my little Eureka as well. So I've got stamps by me, wall to wall around me here. So what I'm going to do is create a background for our dancing couple. And so I've got some black card here, and I've got the Starstruck stencil. And I put this stencil together because I thought it just reminds me of that kind of ballroom dancing with the kind of lights shining out, but also kind of gives you a little bit of a framing for your focal point. So that I think should work well. And because I'm going to use texture paste, I know these mats are magnetic and they do work really well to hold your stencils down. But because it's texture paste and it's got a little bit more drag to it, I'm just going to put a bit of tape at the top of my stencil. And let's get some champagne gold. So this is the Crafters Workshop stencil butter, which anybody who follows me knows I am addicted to. We stock it in the shop, and it is always popular because it's got you can see I've got some fuchsia in there, but it's got a really rich, it's a nice body to it, and it's got a really kind of rich colour. So this one's champagne gold. So it will pop really nicely, I hope, against the black card. And let's say you know how this works. I'm literally just going to spread the paste through. I've got one I have done already that's dried, so we're not going to have lots of drying time with the stencil. How are you all anyway? How has your Monday been? It's wet and drizzly here in Leeds. You all well? There we go. So I stopped scraping there because I was just reading comments. I've sent your paste out, Laura. Yeah, they are lovely. The new ones are lovely. They brought out some kind of autumnal colours. And I actually had to get those in from America because I couldn't find any distributors in the UK for the most recent colours. So I actually did get them shipped in from the Crafters Workshop in the States because I just had to have them. Well, that looks cool, doesn't it? Look at that. Just putting this to one side where it will get dunked in water. But how crisp does that look against the black? Now I've got a texture paste alert on my nice clean mat. What was that, Roxy? No, I don't have an actual shop, a physical shop. I just have the online one. We still really, I still run the business from home effectively. So we've had an extension built just this year for the laser cutters, because of course I make all my own stencils in-house. And this office has kind of been tagged on the back of that workshop. But yeah, we do it all online and on TV. It is lovely, isn't it, this paste? So yeah, it's got a really gorgeous, rich shimmer to it. Let me get the one that I've already kind of dried, and hopefully even with my shonky lighting you can see beautiful dimension, lovely crisp finish, and yeah, it's just a really classy gold, champagne gold, isn't it? It's got to be classy. You're doing a volunteer class, Karen? Yeah, it is. It's been wet, hasn't it? Oh, no, I don't have an actual shop. You're welcome to come round to the house, Caroline. But no, I don't have an in-person shop. I don't know how where I'd spend my time really, because I say I spend so much time cutting the stencils and packaging and then doing orders. I don't think I'd have time to actually be in a physical shop as well. Right, what am I going to, I need to stamp up a couple, don't I? I'm chatting away to you. So I've got my mini Eureka here, which I've just recently got this weekend actually. And I like this size primarily because when I'm going to shows or doing demos, it's a nice small footprint to it. And you know, for lots of the stamp sets that I don't have images that are so big that you can't get them into the to the mini. So I do have the big one in my craft room, but this is a nice size. And I'm just going to stamp this out just again so you can see an image come to life. You could, oh, if you're bringing cookies, Caroline, then you're definitely invited around. They were delicious, the last ones. Yeah, it's I have a shop envy whenever I go to Tony's Stamps by Me shop, because it's just such an Aladdin's cave of fab things. Right, you can see there that I've got I decided to go with the tango. Do you reckon it's the tango? Hiya, Claire. We've just been looking at your fabulous release. So, and I've been telling everybody to join your, or if they don't already, watch your YouTube channel to tune in and watch your journaling. It's been so popular. Your stamps and stencils have been really, really popular. And I was just saying that I'm going to demo them on Friday, because I've got a live in the Junk Journals Mixed Media Facebook group. So I'm going to do a demo with them there. We don't have many of the A5s left already. So it's definitely a case of grab them quick. So yeah, I think this couple are doing the tango. Anybody who's a ballroom dancer, tell me if I'm wrong. I'm just generously inking them up with some VersaFine black. You starving? Well, Mr. G came in with his pizza, but I certainly didn't get a sniff of any. I don't know. That is one of the challenges of being in this office, is I'm out of sight, out of mind. So I don't think I'd get fed at all if I didn't find my own way to the kitchen. So this is coming up with, oh, look at this. It's coming up with the stamp. So you can see there, I've just missed the bottom of his feet. So let's hope we can, the papers or the card's gone back where it was. Me talking about pizza, I wasn't paying attention, was I? So just one of the joys of the old stamping platform. And there we go. We've got our romantic couple. And what I've used, I've got one stamped and coloured already, but I'm going to just show you quickly what I used to colour it up. Here they are in their coloured glory. Now with my shonky lighting, No, the cereal. I'll have to go and get the cornflakes after this live, Roxy Lee. But that is what I'm having for my tea. Cornflakes. Yeah, any food parcels are welcome. Do send them over. So I'm over in my chunky lighting. You can see that there's a fab shimmer on this couple that I've already coloured and cut out. So obviously to get that colour on them, I have used the confetti inks. I don't know if they're still in stock, you know. I don't know if they're still on the How to Craft Network site. If they are, and you haven't got them already, I do recommend them, partly because there aren't many kind of watercolour inky paints that I feel it's got both a good combination of sufficiently translucent that you can still see the dots on her dress. It's not kind of obliterated them. But also there's enough body to the colour that I haven't needed to colour underneath, if that makes sense. So I'll add a bit of gold to his jacket. He's got a big grin on him, hasn't he? So I've just liberally spritzed my pots with water. One of the nice things about them being so big, so wide topped, is you can effectively just kind of take the gold or take the colour directly from the pot itself. You're not having to kind of decant it into another palette. I can see it shimmering here as it goes down onto the cardstock. I'm not even using watercolor cardstock here. This is just plain white, super smooth, because I'm not obviously planning to completely douse it with lots of water. So what had you asked, Tom being nosy, Roxy Lee, what had you asked Tony to bring back? I always have this problem when I'm in the studio at How to Craft, is I get distracted by the feed of chat. But this is it's super easy to get this colour down. Just a beautiful shimmer to it. You could use any kind of watercolor markers, inks. Of course, the distresses would work perfectly with them, with this kind of colouring. So I'm just using the confetti inks because they've got that kind of shimmer to them, which I think works great for our ballroom theme. But you could use absolutely anything you have to get a cool effect. Just put a bit on his cummerbund and his bow tie. I say, I have already taken the time to colour and cut out one already, so I won't do that in full here. But I think with the shimmery background we've got with our stencil, with the stencil butter, then actually having our couple having a bit of a glitz and glam to them as well will work really nicely. Now the challenge is I'm just trying to work out which is my wet. Well, that's the dry one. I was about to put my finger in the wet texture paste. So the reason why I think this kind of framing of the stencil works really nicely is you just need to have this kind of couple almost kind of in the middle, and it just looks as if that kind of star light is popping out from behind them. And so let's just kind of pull this together fairly quickly for you, because I've got another demo I'd like to do as well, if I'm not taking up too much time. Yeah, they are fab. Yes. Yeah, Tony was telling me, Roxy Lee, that the mini Eureka was out a while ago. And I think you're right. It's great that they brought it back, because it just, if you're anything like me, the space that you end up crafting in gets smaller and smaller by the minute. And sometimes just trying to get the big Eureka out onto your craft table is a bit of a challenge. So yeah, having the mini ones, brilliant. I hadn't seen it before this time it was released, but Tony did say it was a back in. So I've got some gold pearlescent card here to give us a matte for our black background. It's a very blingy card for me, this. Do you all watch Strictly? Because I must admit, I haven't watched it at all this year, so I'm not up to date with it. But I'm hoping that I'm capturing the essence of Strictly with these stamps and this card. So literally plonking this onto a square card base, giving myself quite a nice generous white border here. So given we've got quite a solid black in the back, in the front there, and we'll give our couple. Should we give our couple a bit of dimension to raise them up into the foreground? Just some foam tape for speed. And this stamp set comes with some brilliant sentiments. I've got the one that I've got here to use is dance like everyone's watching and show them how it's done. But there are lots of others. I'm just having a look on the desk here. I think I've kind of stamped them like, why walk when you can dance? Let's twist again. Hey Mambo, cha-cha-cha. So yeah, fun. Again, fun sentiments, not the kind of thing you'll kind of see everywhere, but I think it'll go really well with the theme of the stamp set. So we've got dance like everyone's watching, show them how it's done, matted, white heat embossed it and matted it onto some gold card. And we'll give that a bit of foam as well. And we'll put it at a jaunty angle. Hi Ali, good to see you. Oh, wow. If it was my mum ringing me in the middle of such an important live event, I'd have given a very short shrift. I hope she's well. So yeah, here's a jaunty angle for us with our sentiment, and that came together really quickly. I was in two minds, and I was feeling in more of a splattery mood. I could have splattered some of the confetti, that oyster confetti, on that black background, because that would have really popped as well. But I think because we've got the shimmer with our couple and with that stencil, then I think that gives it quite a lot of impact. And that's so simple to do, but that's one of the reasons why I bought that stencil out at the same time as this stamp set. I mean, you could have lots of focal points within that kind of star frame, but it does work really nicely with these dancing couples. Thank you. Thanks, Caroline. Do you reckon he looks like Anton de Beck? I'll have to ask Eleanor who was her inspiration for these characters. That was made me laugh, Steph. So I wanted to do just one quick second card with you, a different style of card, because I want to use this fabulous couple from the couple who do the more 60s themed couple. I'm just getting some black card here to show them off, because I think they're really fun, and it reminds me, it's real Austin Powers vibe to it, and I think again, you can just go mad with colour with this pair, with their outfits. So I've coloured, as you can see. This time I used Ecoline markers to colour in this couple in these vibrant colours. You can see there they are, just stamped out. Again, the stamping platform ideal for this, just to ensure you get your solid image, but equally easy enough to fill in with a black pen as well if you don't have a stamping platform and the acrylic block doesn't give you quite the density of colour that you're looking for. So this is a really fun couple, isn't it? And I thought we'd go with an inky background for this pair, and then we'll use the musical heart stencil as the backdrop for that. So we'll use both stencils that I thought worked particularly well with Eleanor's dancing stamp set. So I'm going to use some of the, again, any water reactive inks will work here. If you watched my How to Craft Network show, was it last week with Home? I did a similar background with blues and purples from a wintry scene. But I'm going to use the magenta and bitter sweet, the really kind of rich orange and pink. And I'm looking at some paper. It won't work particularly well if I've got no paper to mop it up with. So you'll have seen me do this. Oh, you've seen lots of people do it, I'm sure. I'm going to use my mini mat because that means I can just put it to one side once we've got an inky mess on it. And you can see I do this lots and lots with distress inks and oxides. It's the same process. These are just very, very juicy. So it's just worth being aware of how much colour you get just from literally touching it onto your mat. And then I need my spray. There we go. So just give it the old spritz. I typically spray my card, mainly because I'm not using watercolour cards, so I just don't want it to suck into I don't want the card to suck the ink in literally straight away. You'll know your card stock. And then I'm just going to break up this ink with a brush, so I'm not going to just get blotches or not get as much of a blotchiness, and then just whack it down onto here. One of the nice things about having this smaller mat is it at least contains the inks. Of course, if you're doing this onto a glass mat rather than a craft mat, you will find that the ink does splurge around quite a lot. Look at that, look how juicy that is. It's like, I'm going to need more than one piece of card, I think, for that. Just a beautiful, beautiful, rich colours here. And again, for those of you that watch Tim Holtz's lives, I mean, he would typically say that, you know, you can get your first fix of colour, dry it slightly so that it's certainly not sopping wet before you go back in, and that way you'll layer up the colours and get more kind of detail, more splotchiness with each layer as you build it up. So if I just keep going back into that same pool of ink, it'll just all merge. Whereas if I let that dry and go back in, then I'd get another layer of colour. It's just working with watercolours, isn't it? But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to get another piece of card so I don't waste the ink that's on here. Just a bit of A6 and mop this up, because I'm quite happy with the colour that I've got down here. You see, I didn't spritz that card before I put it into the ink, and it gives you, it's less of a loose effect because the card kind of wants to suck up the ink straight away. Let's move that inkiness to one side. And so that's just literally a mop up that I'll be able to use at another time. Oh, put it onto a clean table. Put it onto the mat. And then the other thing I did on How to Craft Network, if you watched, what inks am I using? I'm using it's Ashley, isn't it? Ashley. I'm just didn't want to get your name on. I think it's Ashley. I'm using inks from Stamps by Me, which they've recently bought out. And they're water reactive inks, so great stamping inks and obviously great for these kind of techniques as well. I think Tony's brought out a set of 6 initially. I certainly know there are more to come, but yeah, they are very, very intense. Right. I'm just going to, while these confetti inks are still relatively wet, I'm just going to do again what I did last week, which is splatter onto my wet background, and where the ink or the paper is still really wet, it will give you that lovely splotchy blend that you get with watercolours. In those areas that have already started to dry, then you'll just get a more defined splatter. Either is good by me. Oh, I thought it was Ashley. I just hesitated because I didn't want to get your name wrong. I know we've chatted lots of times. Yeah, they are very vibrant, but you can get a soft look. I mean, that's the thing with the vibrant ink, isn't it? You can get soft looks with it as well, because you can just keep it. You can dilute it down. I think it's harder to go the other way, obviously. So there we go. Lovely splattery background, the lovely blend of the inks, the orange and the pink, and then we've got some gold and some magenta shimmer just over the top. Now, obviously I'm going to leave that to dry. I could blast it with a heat gun, obviously, but I'll save your ears. Feeling very kind on a Monday. And I'll get the one that I did earlier, if I can see it. Already making a mess. Here we go. Here's one I did earlier, exactly the same way as I've just shown you. And all I've done is trimmed it down into a square to go on the front of the card. So I've got those shimmery dots on there from the confetti inks already. And what I thought would go nicely with our couple, our dancing pair, is I thought if we use a musical heart, I thought I'd try and use a musical heart with some blues. So we tie in with the blues in their outfit. And I'm going to heat emboss the stencil to give me that. So I'm going to use a musical heart. And I'm going to pop it off at an angle here, jaunty angle. I'm going to mask it slightly because I'm obviously going to use the embossing ink, and I don't want to get embossing ink where it's not needed. Obviously another reason for me doing this in advance is I would really have had to get the background that I've just done really dry, obviously, before attempting the heat embossing. Otherwise, it would just become one sticky mess. So I did want to have one done already for this. I'm going to use one of my blending brushes that I will keep specifically for embossing ink, because the brushes don't really like the sticky embossing ink. They won't, even trying to wash them out and then use them with different ink pads, you'll never get that kind of same fine bristle again. So if you do use one, you could use a sponge dauber, other things as well. But if you do use one of the blending brushes, then I would dedicate it to heat embossing ink after this. So, and you could, as I've said many times, you could splodge down with your ink pad, which I also do. But in terms of just making sure I catch the detail of this stencil, I thought a brush might be a good way to go. And we'll see how much detail I pick up. Yeah, I've seen the new colours. They are rather gorgeous. I refused to leave the studio until Tony showed me. Anyway, she was going to get rid of me. So I'm hoping I'm catching everything here with the embossing ink. Of course, it's hard because you can't actually see what you've put down. but it will give us a good effect. So, and this wow embossing, just trying to see, oh yeah, I can see the pattern there. This wow embossing ink pad is quite a juicy one, so it should work well. Let's get a bit of, so what I'm going to use, and if Laura's still on, she'll be really pleased, I'm going to use the wow powder called Poppin' Teal, because I know this is her favourite ever trio of wow powders, and it was seeing her use it that meant I ended up having to get it as well. Poppin' Blue it is, by Ashley McGregor from Wow, and it's great. It's one of those wow powders that's got lots of different size granules in it, but they're very vibrant. There's a yellow, a pink, and a blue. That's going to really stand out nicely, isn't it, against the oh, I've emptied it, against the pink. I know it's your fave, Laura. I've used it just for you. I love them too, actually. Right. So let's give that a heat. I'm afraid I couldn't avoid a heat gun completely this evening, but it shouldn't take long to turn. So mind your ears, and we'll get this stencil. Sorry, Amanda. So I haven't tried this embossing powder against a kind of contrasting background, because some of the embossing powders can be quite translucent, can't they? But I think this one's going to hold its own. Bit of fun texture. Are we spending your money for you, Ashley? There's a new distressing colour coming out, isn't there? Is it this weekend? I think it might be. So I know I'll end up having to get that in the interest of research. I think I've caught everything. Yeah. So that blue, I think that blue works nicely, do you? Because you've got that variation of the colours behind it with the watercolour background, and you've got the gold splatter. So that's coming together well. So let's just pile this card together. So these are really, really simple cards. Literally a colour in the background, a stencil, and a focal point. Nothing more than that. And all I'm going to try and wrestle this card to be a little bit flatter. I would normally make sure it was flatter before sticking down. And then so you've kind of got a favourite, anyone, from the release? Is there something that is particularly your style? Because we always try and kind of cater for lots of different crafting styles. So, you've seen kind of Claire's amazing kind of the journaling mixed media, which don't have to just be for journaling and mixed media. Absolutely work here perfectly with that background for the tag. Through to kind of Charlotte's gnomes. So yeah, it's just, I'm always intrigued to see kind of what particularly kind of connects with people. Because as you can imagine, with it being my company, I have to have all of it. That's why I work with these amazing designers. So black background, black border, sorry. Always helps things to pop. Oh, thanks, Caroline. Well, you've made some amazing samples with, well, samples, but projects with our things. I just love seeing what people do. And hopefully, I'm sure if you found me here tonight on the live, you're probably in the Facebook group. But if you're not, then definitely do check out the Facebook group, because the projects that get posted on there are just brilliant. And certainly whenever I've got a live demo to do for TV, I check out everyone else's good ideas to help me come up with things I might want to be able to demo. So yeah, I think this pair now aren't getting lost in the background, because that blue is just kind of helping them come to the fore. I'll just glue them down, cut them out in advance. He does look funny though. Again, I wonder who Eleanor had in mind when she drew him. The white outline around the characters obviously always kind of helps them stand proud of the background we've got. And then let's just put one of our, well, it has to be Let's Twist again, doesn't it, for this one? Because obviously, well, I think that's what they're doing. It is fun, Nola. I mean, the whole point, isn't it, is you want it to make you smile as you're making, not just to give to others, but it's kind of got a, I just like things that get me telling little stories in my head, or just make me want to create and bring and you know, get inky. And this stamp set particularly, I think always with it, what Eleanor does is she just gives us that personality that it's unusual. You know, you don't see cards with this kind of artwork on them that often. And I think whoever you send them to, or if you use them to decorate your calendar, they're just going to make you smile. So yeah, two very different cards. We've got a sophisticated couple and their black background, and then we've got our twisting couple with their kind of slightly more psychedelic card with lots of vibrant colours. So it's just two cards made from that one stamp set, and the stencils I showed you at the beginning. I hope you like them. I say, before I leave you to the rest of your Monday evening, if you do like and share and comment, I'll be giving away the whole release on Friday, and also two of the calendars as well, because I don't want to leave anybody out. I'd like you all to have something, but two calendars and the whole release. So I'll be keeping an eye on the feed. Any questions that you want to ask or haven't asked already, then do pop them in the comments, because I'll be checking and replying to those. And thank you for spending time with me this Monday evening, my first YouTube live. If this is a format and a time that you like, again, do let me know in the comments, because I could well come back next Monday evening to potentially play with Donna's cat stamps and washi. So if this works for you, and YouTube or Facebook, let me know which you prefer, and I'll come back and do some more live demos. But in the meantime, thank you again. Thank you for all your support for the release and for Funky Fossil, and I shall see you soon. Take care for now. See you later. Bye.